Good morning, authors. Well, right now it's beautiful morning. Jesus Christ. Perfect golfing weather. I just want to cry. The auction place, they open up at 8:30. So sometime today, I want to try to shoot up there. It's like 40 minutes away. And my artist guy, he hasn't responded to my call, my text yet. So I want to make sure before I head over to the bay that I can actually get a hold of him, because I don't want to make a blank trip. I sent him a text early this morning to make sure he bring the artwork with him. That way, if I go over there, he has the artwork. But so there's two things I want to kind of get out of the way today. Go to the auction, inspect the cars, see what cars they do have, and make a decision. Then I have to go pick up the artwork. So it looks like I'm gonna have a very busy day today. But other than that, just keeping you guys informed on my my daily routine as a self-published author. Tired as hell, though. I'm tired. I thought this was gonna be like retirement, working one day a week, signing my name, and that's it. Rude awakening. Rude awakening. Coffee good too. Beautiful weather. Oh my God, you hear the birds? They happy. Dogs happy. They laid out on their back. You know what I'm saying? Grass is pretty and green. My grass is always pretty and green though, no matter what part of the year. Whoa. I just noticed the leaves on this tree has come back. Can you believe that? Hold on, let me let you guys take a look at this. I just noticed now the leaves on this tree in the wintertime is pretty much gone. Empty. Right? And now they're back. And I didn't even notice they came back. That's how busy I've been. But I ain't gonna hold you guys up. I know you guys are busy. Let me go ahead and figure out what I'm gonna do. Hopefully one of the two can do me good. On the move. I am currently waiting on some books from CreateSpace, and what I have learned, even when you're doing book signings, a lot of times some of the bookstores are not going to order the books when you prefer them to order the books. So say for example, I'm already out 2.5 months to 3 months out on my book signings, which is good, because some stores that order early, the sales will count for that month when they order. So say for example, if I can get 2 months ahead on my book signing dates, and if those stores were to order all in February, that means those 2 months will add up to a February sales. Right? And sometimes they wait until the last minute to order the book. Sometimes they might wait a week, maybe 2 weeks before the book date is, the book signing date is. So if you can get them to order the books, and which this is a good thing too, right? If you have been to that store before, and if you have sold well, it's a good chance when you make that second appearance, because they know that you want to, do well, they will order your books right then and there. right? So if they order them right then and there, that means that those sales are gonna accumulate for that month. So now if you can get 2 months of sales in 1 month, you just doubled your money. However, down the road or the next month after that, for the stores that did not buy in that next month, that means that next following month pay period, it won't be as great. So some of your money is in that month's check. So that next month's check might be half of what you would normally get. So keeping that in mind, and by you getting reports on what month you're going to be doing well in, you will be able to predict, okay, I need to order books for me to sell on the street to compensate for that slow month, right? So keep that in mind. I got to shoot over to the post office, send a book off to someone who had bought a book off the street, and they bought part 1 and they want part 2. Then I did make contact with my artist. He didn't bring the artwork because he thought that we were gonna meet up on Tuesday, because normally I get back on Monday, then I head over there on Tuesday. But because I did well Saturday, I had no book signing Sunday, so I came back early. So he didn't realize that when I sent him the text this morning, he was thinking it was for Tuesday. So I meet him up either later on today or tomorrow. So I'm hoping my books, it should arrive today. It says on Wednesday, in which I hope not, but I'm hoping it comes early. So now when you order your books from CreateSpace, this is what I used to do. In the beginning, I didn't want to pay expedited shipping, right? Because, that's like an extra, it's almost double the price, right? So you might be looking at $40, another $60. So now I never wanted to pay expedited shipping, because even though you get it a week early, but it's more economical to pay the lesser price, but it takes forever. It takes almost 2 weeks, right? So one time I did a expedited shipping, and I got the books. It was just before Christmas, and I got the books back in less than about a week. And the books came so fast, and I didn't have to wait on that time until I said never again will I do a regular shipping. If you can, always do expedited shipping, because you get the books back like that. No time. So now, instead of me waiting around for books when I could be selling books, if you don't pay expedited shipping, that's what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna be waiting around for almost 15 days. And then around Christmas time, you have a lot of other people who are ordering books. So you got to put your order in early, because you're gonna have to wait in line, right? But if you expedite it, you're gonna get ahead of the line. That's what you want to do. You want to get ahead of the line. So from now on, I just pay expedited shipping, and the time it takes for it to get to me, the fast time that it takes to get to me, I can make that money back in shipping or just selling books. So I don't even cry about the expedited price on shipping. Just get the books in my hand, and I'll do the rest. That's it?
That's it.
Sure, thank you.
All right. Next customer, come on down.
So another thing I wanted to touch on, some people ask me sometimes, why do I use CreateSpace instead of Ingram to order that I sell on the street? Well, for one, the price difference is significantly different, and for example, on the street, I only sell part one of the book. See, when I first started writing this book 20 years ago, I didn't realize how long the book was going to be. I was just writing. Then when it's time to format the book to get it for print, then you got to look at the font size, you got to look at the size of the book, the trim size of the book, and then you got to look at the page count. So in the beginning, my page count was almost 600 pages, right? And I was thinking, oh man, a big book, oh, they're gonna love this. But guess what? A lot of people are intimidated by a big book. So if you got too many pages, a lot of people gonna be like, I don't know, especially those who don't really read a lot. They don't want to see a big book. They get intimidated. So that scares the hell out of them. So now when it comes down to page count for Ingram, right? That's the one that I use for going into Barnes & Noble to do my book signing. The page count was at 600, and they told me that if I print that book, I would owe them money. I'm like, how is that possible? So page count matters, right? So make sure your page count is not above a certain amount. So what I had to do, in order for me to make a profit, because at almost 600 pages, I would have made no money. I would have owed them money if they would have printed the book. So in order for me to make a profit, my page count had to be less than 387 pages, right? Now it could be at 400, but you won't make as much money. So I had to get it down to about 387 to see a decent profit. At $17, that was only $1, right? So that was only getting $1 at 387 pages at $17, right? So then I had to bump it up to $19 because I was seeing people going to Barnes & Noble and buying 4 and 5 books, 3 books. They would look at my book at 17 and they would say, oh, this is cheap. No, this is a decent price. No problem. Boom. I knew I had to raise my price. So I went from 17 to 19. I didn't want to push it. So make sure your page count is within reasonable, and make sure you're able to make a profit off your page count. So now what I'm gonna do when I finish with part 3 of the book, I'm gonna change because right now the book is at 387 pages, 6x9, right? So when I finish with part 3, I'm gonna separate that book and make it part 1 and part 2, in which that's what I do now on the street. I sell part 1 of the book. Now in the very beginning, I chose to only sell half the book on the street because the price it costs to print the book, and a 387 page book, you only can carry so many with you, right? So say for example, if I would buy part 1 of the book at 200 pages, almost ran over a cat. At 200 pages, I'm out of focus, so that cat just ran across the street. But at 200 pages, I'm able to carry about 30, maximum maybe 35 books comfortably, right? And I can take those with me and I can sell those books. But at 387 pages, or 6x9, I'm maybe able to carry 15 books because it's a big book. So keep in mind, I cut mine down to 200 page book, 5x8, made it a lot smaller, and it's not as intimidating. And in the beginning, I didn't have it as part 1. I just said, oh, read the rest of the book, blah blah blah. But as I noticed that I knew I had to do a part 3 of the book because I wasn't really finished with the story, and it would be a lot more convenient with part 1 and part 2. Plus you make more money if you can get people to buy 1, 2, and 3, and you probably can charge the same price. You make more money, right? So now with CreateSpace, the reason why I chose 200 pages, I kind of like condensed the chapters in there to get it in there, right? Because if you go over 200 pages at CreateSpace, they charge you an extra amount of money. So it's like an extra, maybe $1 or maybe 50 cents or something like that. But that's, everything counts. That's 50 cents per book. So every time you order a book, that's 50 cents or $1 up on your book. That's taking money away from your profit, right? So you want to make sure that you keeping in mind, okay, now what is my profit range? How much I'm gonna make off this book? How many can I sell? Right? So you want to keep that in mind. So when I finish part 3, it's gonna be 3 books. I'm gonna separate part 1 and 2. Now I tell people it's part 1 and 2. I'm gonna separate that. It's gonna be 3 books. I do want to touch base on Vanity publishers, right? If you are with a Vanity publisher is most likely a publishing company who you probably seen advertise on TV or in the newspaper, and when you call them up, they never want to stop calling you back. Alright? If you have to pay your publisher to get published, something ain't right. Because you could do it yourself. Say for example, to get your book, to make your book returnable with Ingram, it's a one-time fee forever. You pay one time. These Vanity publishers, they will charge you $600 every year, right? So when you go to do your book signing, and all of a sudden you got to pay $600 to make your book returnable, and if you don't pay it, then guess what? You won't be able to get your book signing in Barnes & Noble because your book is not returnable. So you can do it yourself, go through Ingram Sparks, and you can make your book returnable. And the Vanity publishers, they're going to take 10 to 15% of your profit. Money that you could be putting in your pocket. If you go through Ingram Sparks, that 10 to 15% could be a part of your pocket. And then they want to charge you for every little thing, like a book cover. You can own your own book cover and put it up yourself, but if you don't own it and you let them do it, then when it's time for you to move your creativity or your book to the next publisher, like Ingram, they're not publisher, they're distributors, right? So they distribute your book. So once you want to move your distributor, guess what? You don't own the book cover. So now you have to go through that whole process again of getting a book cover, right? So just get out of that contract. If you can, get out of that contract, because I know people who've gotten out of that contract. Get out of that contract, because they're going to keep trying to charge you for every little thing. They don't advertise for you. They don't promote for you. They don't get you in Barnes & Noble on the shelf. They only get you online, which you can do it yourself, right? And you can cut that middleman out. They get you online. They get you in the system to where people can go to Barnes & Nobles and order it, but they don't get you on the bookshelf, right? So I would think twice about going with a Vanity publisher, especially when you can do it yourself. Gotta go ahead and get this chicken. Chicken, baked chicken. I'm gonna lose this weight. I'm gonna get back my glory days. I'm gonna get back to my glory days. Hello world, authors. Let's get out there and sell those books. So I'm gonna go ahead and head over to this auction. I'm gonna go ahead and inspect these cars. That's exactly what I'll be doing. I just want to take a good look at them and see what prices they're going for, and see what I can get within my price range. I don't want nothing fancy at all. I just want something that's gonna get me from point A to point B. I'm gonna call it a book signing car, a book signing automobile. No, book signing mobile. That's what I'm gonna call it. Book signing mobile. Oh man. So it's gonna take me a minute to get there. So I'll see you guys when I get there. These are teriyaki chicken wings. The pan was kind of empty when I went in there. I mean, they go so fast. I don't understand why. They go real fast. It's only like 11 going on 11:30 and the pan is empty. That means people been coming in there getting the damn chicken. I gotta eat private. See you guys when I get to the auction lot.